Greetings, fellow Mthwakazians all over the world. Hopefully, we find you well wherever you are. Thank you very much for joining us tonight as Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance. This happens to be our first live broadcast in 2022, and we are coming with a bang as a political institution. The political institution that solely exists to usher the people of Mthwakazi into freedom, a freedom that will come with development, freedom that will come with observation of human rights, freedom that will come with the spirit of Ubuntu, freedom that will come with food security, freedom that will come with good and quality services to the people of Mthwakazi, the freedom that will entirely make everyone in Mthwakazi happy. Thank you very much for joining us. Let me invite you also to further log on to our YouTube channel, which is Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance TV. On YouTube, we are Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance TV. I invite you there to subscribe to our channel and make some comments. We really take people's comments seriously. Even those comments from our enemies, we also take them seriously. Even those comments from our opponents, let me not say enemies, because as Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance, we are not an enemy with anyone. We don't have enemies. We have political opponents. But unfortunately, those people whom we regard as political opponents, they treat us as if we are their enemies. So, comrades, 2022 is just another year which will be almost similar if we don't stand up as Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance, rise to the occasion, and lead people towards the envisaged change, especially the people of Mthwakazi. Remember, when we are talking about change, we are not talking about just only exchanging people, but we are talking about removing this system which is oppressing our people and replacing it with the system that is pro-people, with the system that is conducive for the livelihoods and for the survival of Mthwakazi people. The system that will stop our people from forced migration, the system that will make our people to happily live in their land and enjoy the richness of their land. So we are not fighting against only removing individuals, because you make a mistake by saying you are fighting for removing an individual by retaining the same system, the same thing that was done when Robert Mugabe was removed. They only changed individuals with the same mentality, individuals with the same system. And what we are witnessing now, we are witnessing entrenchment of the system of ZANU-PF. So as Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance, we are a system-based political party. We are a political party that seeks to change the status quo. And that feature should show forth as an opposition political party. So before I go on to the reason why today we have this live broadcast, let me first of all start by highlighting where we are, the current affairs in Mthwakazi, what exactly is happening in Mthwakazi. For those who are in the African continent who are wondering what is Mthwakazi, Mthwakazi is a nation that was colonized by the British South African Company, acting on behalf of the government of British in 1893. As they colonized the Mthwakazi in 1893, they also went further and attempted, their first attempt didn't work. They attempted to join Mthwakazi with South Africa, but that attempt did not work. And they resolved at the end of the day to join Mthwakazi with what we call Mashonaland. Remember, by that time, when Mthwakazi was colonized, Mashonaland has accepted British as to be under British. It has accepted the British rule willingly. They didn't fight any war. In fact, they accepted Britain. They accepted to be under the British control. Us as Mthwakazi people, we fought wars. We fought very, very vicious wars. Our people have to lose their lives in defense of their nation and in defense of the humiliation which was to capture the king of Mthwakazi. The British colonialists never captured the king of Mthwakazi because of the strength of the Lobengula military, which was inherited from his father, Mthwakazi. So up to today, we can claim as Mthwakazi people that we are not defeated. That's why we are alive. That's why you hear Mthwakazi nationalism. It is the talk of the day. It has been talked about even since colonization by the white people, and then now under the black people, who happens to be the people of Mashonaland. Mthwakazi is still the talk of the day. So Mthwakazi was never defeated because its king was never killed. So Mthwakazi exists under the colonial arrangement which changed the name to Zimbabwe. So we are a nation and we want to get out of Zimbabwe because the colonial system that was existing during the era of Smith and the other eras, beginning with the British South African Company, as our leaders, is still in existence, which wants to see the people of Matabeleland oppressed, which wants to see the people of Matabeleland not benefiting from their God-given resources. So as Mthwakazi the Democratic Alliance, we want to be free from Zimbabwe because we were a free nation. What we are existing under now, it is a colonial arrangement. We are seeking to decolonize Mthwakazi because as we speak now, Mthwakazi is still colonized. So it's not a matter, it's not an ethnic matter, it's not a matter of language, but it is a matter of fighting for our freedom. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I go on, like today we want to talk about the program of Mthwakazi, the Democratic Alliance. Let me go further to speak about the current status quo that is existing in Zimbabwe, that is being implemented in Zimbabwe. I'm very sorry, where I am, it's very hot. So today I will continue using my towel during the period of the broadcast. So, as we speak now, we are still under, let me remind you of the things that you are aware of. We are still under the military rule and dictatorship. We are still under the one-man rule, the system that only reveres the presidency, the system that only listens to the president. So it is the system that acts like a monarchy in the modern day, whereby democracy is in existence, whereby it's no longer about one-man show when it comes to political affairs. Even the fathers of Mthwakazi, King Lobengula and Mthwakazi, they ruled with the advisory council. They ruled with the assistance of chiefs. They ruled with the assistance of the headsmen. They ruled with the assistance of the people called Osopo. So it wasn't a one-man show as it is now in Mthwakazi. So we are fighting against that. We are fighting against the system that just conduct elections as like a delayed match whose results are already known. That is the system we are fighting for. So as Mthwakazi people, let's remember that up to today, we are still under the brutal and the vicious political establishment which forced itself to exist in the political arena that is colonizing the people of Mthwakazi. Our people are still subjected to human rights violations. You see, we have seen further entrenchment of those violations. Now, what is happening in Zimbabwe is that human rights violations are being constitutionalized. How evil is the system? How evil is the establishment? They are they are now legalizing, oppressing you through the introduction of the laws such as the Data Protection Act, through the introduction of the laws such as the Maintenance of Peace and Order Act, through the introduction of laws such as the Patriotic Act, and the law that they're introducing regarding the governance of the non-governmental organizations. Let me highlight that this system is introducing the laws that will ensure that our people remain oppressed. So the status quo now, the economic climate is still deteriorating, standards of livelihoods are weakening, and unemployment entrenching, and inequalities rising. The people who are enjoying the national cake are the elites who happens to be the leaders of ZANU-PF. The rest of the population is struggling. The rest of the population is subjected to issues of food insecurity. The rest of the population is subjected to unemployment. The rest of the population is subjected to poor service delivery, which results in poor health also for individuals, and also there is issues of poor service delivery. We see sewers around Bulawayo, we see poor roads infrastructure. There are actually no roads as we speak. So this is the current state of affairs that is in existence in Mthwakazi. We see media is being used as a tool of deception, and there is an orchestrated school of thought to maintain ZANU-PF as the ruling party and MTC as the only opposition party. If you see, I want to emphasize this point. If you see the media establishment that aligns itself with the political establishment, that is no longer media, because media is supposed to exist to actually depict the opinions of all the political parties. Media must exist to actually let people know of what is happening around them, regardless of where those opinions are coming from, without even judging those opinions, because they don't have the right to judge the opinions. Because if you find the media judging that this is newsworthy, this story is newsworthy, this political party is newsworthy, and this political party is not newsworthy, we have lost it. This is the system that we don't want. We want the system that promotes equality. We want the system that promotes good reporting. We want the system that seeks to inform the society about what is happening around the societies, not the system that seeks to create a political opinion, that seeks to create a political opinion, and that system which emphasizes on political correctness. Once we have a system which set a certain order as an order that is politically correct, we have lost it as a nation. So this is the system that we are fighting against. We have the state media that is protecting ZANU-PF, that is reporting everything that is good about ZANU-PF, which can't criticize ZANU-PF. And we have the same state media which is always crashing all opposition parties. They are reporting something that is negative about opposition parties. If they hear that a certain leader is sleeping around belonging to an opposition party, they are going to report that. But if they hear that an opposition party is having a conference, a well-attended conference, they are not going to report that. We don't want even a private media organization that aligns themselves with one opposition political party, because that discredits your credibility, that discredits you even as the media. So this is what is happening in Zimbabwe. This is the system that is happening in Zimbabwe, whereby other opinions are suppressed, and other opinions are suppressed, other opinions are thwarted, and the media exists only to report about a certain opinion. Even if a guy rises today and say he wants Bulawayo to be independent, that guy should receive the same media attention as long as he launches himself as a political party. We don't want the media that is partisan. This is the system that is in existence in Zimbabwe. ZANU-PF took over the media that was supposed to be the public media, and they are controlling it. And we are having MDC taking over some of the sections of the media. You're getting this. So the system that is existing in MDC is the same system that is existing in ZANU-PF. So even if you put MDC in power, forget about changing the system, because the party have shown the traits of dictatorship. The party has shown the traits of authoritarianism, the traits of despotic rule in this current democratic era. And we must fight against that as the people of Mthwakazi. That is why Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance comes in. That is why Mthwakazi Democratic is existing, because it has an alternative system that is people-centered, that will take the people of Mthwakazi away from this nonsense, this political nonsense that is prevalent in our land. We have, you see, an unlevel political playing field in Zimbabwe. ZEC is a ZANU-PF establishment. ZEC has been manipulating the human rights of the people of Mthwakazi and Zimbabwe through giving ZANU-PF the win that they don't even deserve, through portraying ZANU-PF as the winner, while it's known that the people don't like ZANU-PF. Even in 1980, people did not vote for ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF was given power by the British. If you follow our historical background as in Mthwakazi people, you will understand why the power was given to ZANU-PF under Robert Mugabe, and why the ZANU-PF was specifically given to the people of Mashonaland and not given to Nkomo, who was viewed as an individual who was representing the interest of the Mthwakazi people. So that's why I put it. I put my statement like that regarding Nkomo, because I have because I have my reservations, and they are well documented in my history, in my book that will be published very soon. And if you want to hear my views regarding Joshua Nkomo and why I particularly blame him for what is currently happening in Zimbabwe, you need to buy that copy. It is coming very, very soon. So we are anti-ZEC. We are anti the system that ZEC is utilizing to thwart the views, the expressions of the majority people of Mthwakazi as well as Zimbabwe. So without discrediting the system, we will not win this war. We have to the problem in Zimbabwe is not individuals. The problem is the system. It is the political establishment. Let me preempt this. For example, in Mashonaland is very, very small. But it has 6 provinces. Mashonaland is very, very small in terms of geographical space. I have also included that in my book. I once posted it on my wall. But Mthwakazi is bigger than Mashonaland. But guess what? Mashonaland has 6 provinces and Mthwakazi has only 4. That on its own is a system which seeks to keep our people as second-class citizens. Even the population that you are given, you are told that the people of Mthwakazi are less than 1 million. That is a lie. The census that was previously conducted, those statistics, they are propaganda. They don't make any mathematical or statistical sense. So this is what we are fighting against. And if we are manipulating the statistics as well as the geographical space of Mthwakazi, you are attacking the people of Mthwakazi. I have well documented that in my book. I don't want to speak more about this on this live broadcast because today it's all about the program of Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance. Just tune in. We have good news for the people of Mthwakazi. We have convincing news. By the way, we are the political future of the people of Mthwakazi. I have always emphasized that we are the political future of the people of Mthwakazi. We are not only singing about freedom, but we have the strategies of taking our people to freedom. We have the strategies of emancipating our societies and ensure that whatever we are witnessing now will be the thing of the past in a free and democratic and independent we shouldn't be apologetic about demanding self-determination. It is our right enshrined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Charter of the United Nations, clearly articulated. If it is even clearly articulated in the Zimbabwean constitution, however, now they are bringing acts to thwart that. But whether they thwart it or whether they do whatsoever, Mthwakazi will be free. We will fight for our nation because it is our right, because it is our nation, it is our nation, it is our birthright, and no one can claim our birthright. And if you are tampering with our birthright, you are directly attacking the core of our existence, and we will not let such people just climb on top of us and down as they please. Asoke siyekela abantu nje benyuka besehla kithi njengesizwe sikaMthwakazi. Sizobona ukuthi njengesizwe siyalwela inkululeko yethu njengabantu bakoMthwakazi. So we have seen monopolization of strategic economic sectors. Just imagine, it is ZANU-PF alone which is controlling the private sector. It is ZANU-PF alone which is controlling the public sector. They have even monopolized the transport system, which had employed quite a number of people in Mthwakazi and in Zimbabwe. They have taken over, and everyone who is operating a transport have to be under ZUPCO. And do you know why they are doing that? They want to steal the people's monies. They haven't stolen enough. And you see, ZANU-PF doesn't get enough in terms of corruption. They have stolen a lot and they still want to continue to steal. Just imagine how heartless they are. They realized that it was December and they manipulated the real COVID situation to put laws that ensures that they economically benefit. You see, they chase people away from their beloved country, from their motherland, and they put laws to ensure that they drain the hard-earned cash that people get it after having been insulted, that people get it when they are living under environment which is threatening their life, as we see what is brewing now in South Africa. So we see poor service delivery. I have spoken about that. Our international relations are still tainted because of the current system. We are facing acute xenophobic attacks that are brewing in South Africa. In fact, they have started it in some sections of South Africa, and it doesn't look good in 2022. That is why you have a reason as a fellow Mthwakazi to join Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance and help Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance to fight against this system that keeps our people oppressed, to fight against this system that wants to create the political correctness, to fight against the system that wants to keep our people suppressed. I have written extensively about the ruthlessness of ZANU-PF in my book that will come very soon. Will continue portraying and exposing the evil nature of ZANU-PF as well as MDC, because according to me, MDC and ZANU-PF, they are different sides of the same coin. They are working to fulfill similar interests. You saw what happened in 2005, what they did to Welshmen using Mthwakazi Ncube. You see now what they did to Mthwakazi Ncube using Welshman Ncube. You see now what they are doing again to Ncube using other fellow Mthwakazi people. So this is the system that is in existence. The people of Mthwakazi must never raise their heads. If they raise their head, they have to be thwarted. They have to be stopped. This is what is existing. This is the system that Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance seeks to stop and ensure that it becomes history in Mthwakazi. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me get to the gist of today. Let me get to the reason why we decided to make this live broadcast as Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance. The things that we are promising you, I will say brief things which are key, which are fundamental, which are of strategic significance to Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance. One of the things that, first of all, let me just talk about our achievements, because this is the first speech for the year, and it will be disappointing if I don't talk about our achievements as Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance. There are a lot of things that we have achieved. We hosted one of the best launch where we launched our party. It was magnanimous. I mean, the pictures and the videos speaks volume about that, and we gained experience in terms of holding functions of that magnitude and of that significance. We have registered the companies of Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance as we speak. We want to ensure, I will announce the future about that. We have produced the party regalia. That is awesome. I'm wearing part of it. Our t-shirts is quality t-shirts, by the way. It's not also t-shirt. If you buy this t-shirt, you can stay with this t-shirt for more than 10 years. It will be still looking like this if you are washing it and keeping it safe, if you are clean, unless if you decide to cut it with a scissor. But it's one of the beautiful t-shirt, strong regalia that we have as Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance. We have established provincial leaderships. We are still working on that to ensure that all the provinces and everywhere where our people are, we establish structures and we find a way of making those structures to work. You see, that is working on our advantage. If you are in UK, if you are in the United States of America, if you are in Canada, wherever you are, know that your role in the struggle is needed. Once all of us unite, everywhere, wherever we are, we rally behind the ideology of MDA, because I know what MDA is caring for the people of Mthwakazi, and everyone who is in MDA understand MDA better, understand the philosophy of MDA, the political wisdom of MDA in terms of driving the people of Mthwakazi towards freedom. We have created party literature, procured 6x6 banner material. So now in the future, we won't need to buy those banners and everything. We have a lovely website. We are having a YouTube channel. I was supposed to broadcast live today, but very soon I'll be broadcasting live, because the materials for that are now readily available. We are having even digital platforms. This is what we have done. We have conducted humanitarian programs. We have started the fundraising, vehicle fundraising, to get the resources for our political party. You see, because as Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance, our financial intelligence says we don't want to be sponsored by anyone who will come and wants to control our views, who will bring his sponsorship with conditionalities. No, we want us as the members of Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance to sponsor our party. Once we do that, no one will monopolize Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance. No one will seek to convert us to puppets, as what other political parties are doing. They are puppets of certain people somewhere in the world, controlled somewhere because they are sponsored. So as Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance, we are sponsored by our people. Our leadership is busy conducting weekly meetings so that we ensure that we become an effective political instrument to totally defeat ZANU-PF. So now I'm getting on to the purpose of this day, our planned activities for 2022. You need to listen very carefully. Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance hopes this year to conduct its first elective conference. Let me make this point. If this conference happens, of which it will happen, no matter what it has to happen, because we are planning it, we are ensuring that we book the venues and everything, we put the logistics in place, we have the capacity. If we manage to conduct our launch, we have the capacity to conduct one of the very best event in the name of the national conference. We will be the first party in Mthwakazi to have conducted our first elective conference. Remember, a political party must get the mandate from the people whom they lead. As a president, I must get the mandate from the people whom I claim to lead. And how do I get that mandate? I get that mandate through an elective conference. One of the features that our fellow Mthwakazi brothers are failing to understand, because if you are just entering elections without conducting a conference, you are as good as a detective. Remember, when I began this live broadcast, I talked about the significance of fighting against the system, not idolizing an individual, not these people you see on our pages forcing us to join their political party. That is the mentality of ZANU-PF. You see, that is what exactly ZANU-PF did to ZAPU. It forced ZAPU to join it so that it creates a one-party state. In Mthwakazi, we don't want a one-party state. So don't worry about these people who are asking us to join them. They don't understand politics. We shouldn't fight with them. We shouldn't mock them, but we should make them to understand politics. And I wish my team should not remove this post because we should allow for freedom. I mean, all our people who are managing this page, if you are listening to this live broadcast, don't remove, even if someone writes nonsense, let it there. Don't remove it, please. Because we don't want to become like ZANU-PF. Let people express themselves the way they feel. Don't seek to thwart the voices of the people. We are not that political establishment. So this year, we will ensure that we conduct the national, provincial, district, as well as ward leaderships. And even the selection process of all the representatives of Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance, whether they are 4 or 3 or so, ever, we will ensure that they are democratically chosen. We don't want leaders who just come and impose themselves, and they keep on imposing themselves. They don't accept opinions from other people. They want to rule as they please. That is not the character. That is not the nature. That is not what Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance is all about. We are a tolerant political organization. That's why we have never had our political party insulting people on whichever platform. We listen to the views of the people. We don't insult people. We don't chase away people from us. We don't call people names. We don't use social media to bully people. We use social media to expose our policies. We use social media to communicate in a positive way. Those who disagree with us, we don't insult, because they are our brothers at the end of the day. And as we become as we rule Mthwakazi, we should appreciate that we will rule people with diverse opinions. There will be other political parties will continue to be formed as long as human beings exist, because we are different. We think different. We do things different. We are cultured different. So that is why you will see a lot of them. In fact, there are a lot of parties that have come after the launch of Mthwakazi Democratic. We welcome them, and we will continue to welcome others. What is important is for our people to be given the best choice out of these choices that are in existence. So, second thing, we want to have an election guide documents, and we will also be presenting the policies of Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance during our national conference, as well as getting the resolutions from the people. Those resolutions will formulate what we call the mandate. So, as a people-driven political organization, it is fundamental for us to conduct our national conference so that we get instructions from the people whom we rule. Whichever leaders will be elected, they must get instructions. They must be elected by the people, and they must implement what our people say. What our people will say during our conference is what we are going to implement as Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance. That makes us different from other political parties or from other political school of thoughts. So we will craft the MDA Election Manifesto, which will also be discussed on our national conference. Prepare the MDA code of conduct for the people who will be chosen during the national conference, as well as during our primary elections, so that those people who are elected, those people whom we deploy in positions of local government, even in national government, they act in the best interest of Mthwakazi people. Whatever they will do it. So what will inform the code of conduct of our leaders is our national conference. That's why the national conference is so very important. Even if we are under the rule of an enemy, the people will try to disturb even our activity, but this should go on. Even if they arrest the leader of the party, other leaders should make sure that the conference goes on and they collect the views of the people. So the conference is going on. So I will be in Bulawayo. I will be in Mthwakazi. I know a lot of people are doubting, and they were doubting that we will conduct our official launch of our party. We did it, and we silenced them. So even the national conference is coming, and we are coming stronger as long as we are living. Even if we are dead, those who are alive should use this speech to conduct that conference, of which we will be there. We will ensure that everything goes according to the plans. So we will further broaden the scope of the party website to publish news and to make it an effective marketing tool. I won't speak. I think that is self-explanatory because it's not a political matter. We will be undertaking the international advocates and developing friendship with the international community. So this is what we will be on top of this year. We have announced it. In fact, we have already started, but we don't want to publicize our interactions with our friends that we are establishing from the international community, because that is our secret. But we have told you that we are starting that journey because we are now an officially launched political organization. We will ensure that the party company is operational. The party should have not only just one company, but companies. Remember, Mthwakazi was colonized by the British South African company. ZANU-PF is oppressing us through its companies. It has monopolized everything. So, to fight a system, You need to have financial resources, and we need to plan around maximizing and getting the financial resources that are needed. We know how Mthwakazi should be free. You don't need to be speaking it in the street of Facebook, in the street of Twitter, like what our brothers do. No, we know what needs to be done, and we know what have to be done. The plan is there, it is in place, but the problem are resources. So we are working on those resources seriously, and one of the elements is to establish our companies. Uh, of course, you won't see them. If you hear us telling you have companies, believe us, we don't need to expose that. Otherwise, we'll be exposing the party secrets. Um, we will strengthen party internal security so that we can combat cyber security attacks and other attacks that may be launched against Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance as an institution. As we speak now, our website, those who are trying to access our website, it hasn't been accessible for the last 2 weeks. We don't want to speculate who is doing it. We don't know as a political organization. So that's why there is a need as Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance to develop the internal capacity to be able to effectively respond to such issues security-wise. I understand we are still a new party, but remember, as a political party, we have enemies within Mthwakazi, even outside Mthwakazi, even ZANU-PF or whichever political parties, our competitors. In Zimbabwe, unfortunately, the way the politics is coined, especially of Zimbabwe, if you belong to another party, automatically you become an enemy with that other person who chooses to belong to a certain political party. That is the culture which was instilled in us by ZANU-PF, which we also have to fight against and ensure that we create a new culture of tolerance and of diverse views, diverse opinions, diverse establishment. Yes, and ensure that those establishments come into power democratically. So we will address the issue of cyber security. Yes. We will fast track party membership registration. We are encouraging those who are standing on the fences abathina support MDA, as long as ungabhalisanga awusolunga le-MDA. Amalunga e-MDA ngabantu ababhalisileyo, ngabantu abasubscribayo. So the members of the MDA are the subscribing members of MDA, are the registered members of the MDA. Those are supporters. Yes, we love you for supporting us, but you will just remain, I don't know, because a member is also a supporter. I don't know how we call such kind of people and those categories of people. So I'm encouraging people the real members of Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance, to ensure that they register. We started developing the card system of Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance, which is secure, which can never be manipulated. So ensure that you get your card and subscribe every month and donate in whatever needs that may arise, because as a political establishment we have a lot of needs that we need to address. So we will be starting, in fact, enforcing our approach in terms of humanitarian activities will be more confrontational this year, and we will try to do quite a number of them. Remember, we have a responsibility. ZANU-PF have destroyed everything. They have destroyed our social fiber, our education, our culture, and everything. So there are a lot of needs that our people are waiting for, even now as we speak. So we must ensure that we do a lot in terms of humanitarian work as a political organization. Remember, a political party have the responsibility to do everything that is needed or wanted in our societies. I know some will start to say, hey, you are not a non-governmental charity organization. That is a person who doesn't understand politics, because politics defines what a charity organization is. It defines everything that is happening in our societies. Some couldn't go to their country because of politics. It is chaotic what is happening in our borders in Mthwakazi because of politics. So you can't neglect the concept of politics in every situation that you are what you are because of politics. So everyone, even those who are saying no, as we don't, even churches, they are controlled by politicians. Now the politician says no, you can't meet, you can't gather, you must gather a certain number of people. That is politics. It is coming into churches. Those people who teach people not to join politics. And sometimes we love church. I'm a Christian, but sometimes pastors have to be corrected. I think the problem is that these days everyone can just walk up and become a pastor. So speak whatever he wants in the name of God and manipulate people. We've seen people washing women bodies, naked women bodies in the name of religion. We've seen people practicing a lot that is inhuman. So politics affects everyone, and it is very, very fundamental for all of us to be involved in politics. Politics exists to address each and every aspect of society. You can't speak of a society divorcing it from politics. So we will ensure, I've talked of, we will continue with the Macheche miners case. Remember the Macheche miners case, the miners who are still trapped. The government did nothing. We launched, we assisted in launching a political, I mean not a political, a criminal case against the government. Up to today, that case has never been heard. Because the judicial system is captured, because the judicial system of Zimbabwe exists to serve certain people and criminalize certain people in our societies. This is the system that we are also fighting against as Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance. We will also be launching Kukuraonde Genocide Justice Campaign. We know a lot about Kukuraonde. I will not speak more because of my time. I think I need to finish. We will be doing massive production of party literature, contribute also in film industry, and contribute in all aspects of our lives. Because as a political party, we stand to assist everybody in our societies. The problem is resources. If we get resources, everyone should be attended to by Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance. So we'll be doing more advocacy through whichever forms. So I've spoken about promoting art, film industry, and book writing. We should write our books. Let me explain about this as I am closing. We should play a very pivotal role, especially in documenting Mthwakazi literature or literature that is from Mthwakazi. Remember, whatever the Zimbabwean establishment is teaching our children, it is teaching our children disaster. The literature that our children is taught, is taught that they are teaching our children in their schools is the literature that seeks to entrench the 1979 Grand Plan. It is the literature that seeks to entrench the Shona supremacy concept. It is the literature that seeks to create the people from Mashonaland as the first citizens. That's why most of the literature that is learned by our children, it is written by the people of Mashonaland, and very few from Mthwakazi. So we need to prepare our own literature, even though it won't be recognized by this education system. We need also to try to enforce our own education system that is from Mthwakazi, and that will begin by book writing. When you are writing a book, whether in Ndebele, whether in English, talking about the historical experiences, writing novels, satires about what is happening in our societies, which you are keeping our heritage. You are keeping our narrative. So that is why it is important for all of us as Mthwakazi people to ensure that we address that area. Fellow Mthwakazis, thank you very much for joining us. I know some of you will join me after this live session. This is what, in brief, Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance seeks to do. There are other things that we will also focus on this year during the course of 2022. We will keep on announcing them as they come. Let's ensure that we invite as many people as we can to like this page, to follow this page. Let's also share these video links with our families, our loved ones from Mthwakazi. Let's spread this message on our WhatsApp groups, on our statuses. Let's preach Mthwakazi Democratic Alliance. There are a lot of people who need to hear about this. So thank you very much, fellow Mthwakazians. God bless you. God bless Africa. God bless Mthwakazi. We love you very much. MDA love you. Siyabonga bantu bakithi. Inkosi ibusise.